He's a wonder. Hello, good evening. Welcome to today. Today happens to be right the last Sunday before Christmas. Like, come on, today's Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday will be Christmas Eve, the one we popularly call Wash Night, right? And by bam, Friday, it is Christmas. So I think it is proper, and I believe it is proper for me to wish you Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I wish you all the beautiful Christmas. For those who are living in countries that have that have snow and lots of snow, but wish you all the white Christmas. For those of us living in Africa, where we do lots of the soups, we do meat, lots of red meat. So I wish us uh, red Christmas, red goosey stew with red palm oil, red stew for rice, the reddish tomatoes and the reddish pepper. And of course, all the red meat, someone like me, goat meat and bush meat usually wins it during Christmas. Also, welcome to this broadcast. My name is Ellen. I'm all right. Welcome to Christmas romance. And today I'm sharing something very interesting, and it is how to handle sexual and emotional vulnerability during Christmas. How to handle sexual and emotional vulnerability during Christmas. And I'm glad to know that you're part of this. Okay, there are lots of activities going on right now, lots of excitement, lots of fun, lots of new activities. Okay, we are meeting new people, we are exploring different things. So we are going to recreational centers, we are going to entertainment centers, we are just doing different things to have fun. Some people are exposing themselves more to, for the first time, to alcohol and to drugs. Some people, on the other hand, are taking excess of these particular substances and the rest. So people are naturally more vulnerable sexually and also more vulnerable romantically when they are experiencing a Yuletide season, right? Seasons like this, and it's fun, it's good. Everyone wants to be loved, and everyone wants to feel loved, and so automatically we want to bond with somebody special. Automatically, we want to have somebody special closer to us, and also, in addition to that, we also want to enjoy sexual intimacy with somebody. So it is a period, a season where what is happening in the air, what is happening in the media, what is happening around us, what is happening to us inside of, makes us very vulnerable romantically. It also makes us very vulnerable sexually. So how do you handle this? How do you handle this? Now, you don't prepare for battle in battle, right? You're already prepared down. Your army is built. Your arsenal is already ready. You always ensure that your soldiers are trained. You ensure that your guns, your bombs, everything, they are in order before war, so that once war comes, you just deploy. It's not that it is during the war you start training. The same thing happens when it comes to dealing and handling sexual vulnerability, romantic vulnerability at times like this. What the decisions you have made over time comes to play here. So, what are your romantic decisions before now? What are your sexual decisions before now? This is the time for you to take advantage of them. This is the time for you to use them. This is the time for you to yourself, right? You are not going to belittle yourself. You are not going to start doing what is not how will I say it now? What you have not accepted before. So if you have been saying no to alcohol this way, this is not the time to start trying alcohol, right? If you have been saying no to things that intoxicate and things that make you lose um control of your faculty, this is not the time for you to start experimenting them. Why? Because there's situations and there are things on ground that will naturally want to make you go gaga, that will actually want to make you lose ground. So for you, you should stick to your rules as much as possible. Stick to your rules. Yes, it's a time for us to have fun. It's time for us to have right? So that it's a time for fun. It's a time where we should all enjoy ourselves, where we should all get to experience ourselves. Does not mean that you should violate your own principles. Does not mean that um you should go beyond the moral boundaries, the sexual boundaries, and the romantic boundaries that you have set for yourself. Yes, it's okay to open up yourself a little bit emotionally. It's okay to be even emotionally vulnerable to a reasonable extent, especially if you are single. This is actually one of those times that you have the opportunity live, and our calendar allows you to be able to meet with new people. So ordinarily, it is proper for you to be a little bit more open, right? More outgoing, more relatable and accessible, right? But that does not mean that you should go against your moral standards. You should go against your rules. You should go against your boundaries. So today we are just talking about boundaries. Boundaries. So don't experiment with alcohol and drugs. Do not try to experiment with some new sexual behaviors like kissing, touching, smooshing, and the rest. Um, Remember that this is the year that we have gone through a lockdown, through the pandemic. We already understand right now that we have the second wave of the pandemic. The second wave of the pandemic is here in Nigeria, and we have had to deal with NSAS, and not just that, the country is also going through worst recession since 30 years, in 30 years. So the slightest kiss is actually like a wildfire. Like your body right now is like dry grass during Hamatan. The slightest kiss is fire in your Hamatan bush, in your bush during Hamatan. So you would easily burn because we just want to ease all the tension, we just want to ease all the stress, we just want to ease all the wahala that has been happening all the while. You get it, right? So this is why you have to become more cautious, right? You are more conscious of your boundaries. You are more conscious of the reasons why you set these boundaries, and you ensure that no matter what, you don't go beyond them. So if there's a time that you are supposed to be getting home, like you have your personal curfew or there's a family curfew in your house, this is not the time to violate that curfew. This is not the time to violate your rules for video calls and video chats. This is not the time for you to violate your rules of having guests and visitors in your house beyond the particular time, or at a particular time for those people who have the rules of, okay, never to entertain somebody of the opposite sex alone in your house, sex alone in your house. This is not the time to violate it. So the best way for you to handle right, the best way to handle emotional vulnerability, the best way for you to handle sexual vulnerability during this period is to stick to your rules. Simple. Stick to those rules that have protected you all this while. Stick to those guidelines that have kept you all this while, and just ensure that in all the fun and in all the pleasure, you don't shift your boundaries, right? And this is what I have said this before, and I'm saying it again. Do not hang around people who lower your sexual and your moral values. In fact, during this period, it is proper that those that make you push it higher, push that bar, your moral bar higher, your sexual bar higher. Those are the people you should relate with more in this season, not those who make you lower it. That's just it. They should be people who they just make you want to do more. They just make you want to stick more. They just make you want to ensure that you don't lose it in this period. Remember that if you're single, it's okay for you to be a little bit vulnerable, like a little bit open, outgoing, accessible during this period, because this is actually one of the periods where love can find you and where you also can find love. However, if you're not single, you're in a relationship or you're married, or maybe you're even single, but then it is proper that you stick to your rules. Thank you so much for watching this. My name is Ed and I'm all right. Remember to subscribe, right? And hit the notification bell so that I get to know whenever we share things. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again next week Sunday. It will be another amazing time. You rock.